So what we doing now? This is a 2014 Mazda 3. We doing a catalytic converter change on it, the 2.0.
Okay.
All right, so a few things. You have to remove the battery. That's to gain access to these two bolts, which are 14 millimeters. You have two bolts for the catalytic converter, which are 14 millimeters. The 5 bolts that actually hold the cap to the back of the head is also 14 millimeter. You also have a lower bolt for the catalytic converter mount, which is also a 14 millimeter. The 2 exhaust bolts that hold it to the rest of the exhaust are also 14 millimeters. You have to drop the subframe. Let me show the bottom of it. I'm gonna take you up under where I gotta show you how you gotta drop the subframe. So you're gonna have that subframe bolt, which you get through to this little pass through. You have this subframe bolt, and you have one more back here, and it's the same on the opposite side. You have the one that goes through here, and you also have, where are they? You have this one. I left these in to keep the front of the vehicle up. These are facing the front of the vehicle. You have to release this torque strut, this engine. This is the transmission torque mount. So you have to remove that. You also have to disconnect the steering linkage from the rack and pinion. You can get to that from through the from inside the vehicle under the dash. I removed these ahead of time, but I didn't realize that the lower mount for the catalytic converter, which mounts about right here, is in the way. So you have to lower the rack and pinion. That's what made me have to remove that as well. Other than that, once you get about that much space, let me take you another side. So you have to lower your subframe about this much to where the rack and pinion is it's still basically sitting on the little edgewise, but lower the rack and pinion about this much, and then you should be able to slide it completely out. You should be able to slide it completely out the back, because that's the only way you get it out of here. You also have to remove the exhaust mount bushings and the plate that goes to the back side. There should be 6 bolts holding it up. There's also a cover that sits here that has to be removed, and then that heat shield I removed just for extra space as well. There's about 4 bolts holding that up. This is the little cross member mount that holds up most of the exhaust. These are your 6 bolts. They're 12 millimeter. All the rest of the bolts under here are 12 millimeter, 14 millimeters, and 10 millimeters. That's all the sockets you're gonna need size-wise to do all this work. 10, 12, and 14, and 17 and 19 millimeters to do this whole job. I'll leave that in the description, but yeah, once you drop that down, this is the catalytic converter, and this is what you're getting out. See how hefty that is? That's the 14 millimeter bolt on the bottom. That's why you have to drop the rack and pinion to remove this, because it's too much. It's 13 inches in length. 13 inches in height, and about, I don't really know the width of it, but yeah, it's pretty big and it's cumbersome. But that's about it. But yeah, that's all you need to do. I'll be reinstalling everything. I can't show you a reinstall because this video will probably be a heck of a lot longer than it is right now. But as it sits, what time is it right now? What time is it?